self-driving bus launches and crashes 2 hours later. The driverless electric shuttle bus made a big bang in its debut in Vegas on Wednesday. Unfortunately, the bang came in the form of an accident after only 2 hours of being in service. The driverless shuttle is designed to communicate with traffic signals and share the road with other vehicles while stopping for pedestrians. It looks like the shuttle was minding its own business around 12:07 p.m. on Wednesday when it sensed a truck was attempting to back up, so it came to a stop. Problem is, the truck kept backing up until it gave the shuttle a little love tap. The truck driver ended up getting a ticket for illegal backing. In the end, damage was minor and neither of the drivers were hurt. It's alive!
How do Google's self-driving cars work? For years, self-driving vehicles were considered futuristic and a thing of fantasy. However, with multiple companies pouring resources and money into the development of this technology, it may soon become a reality. And with some cities like Singapore pumping money into the development of autonomous vehicles, this may be the beginning of the end for human drivers. So, where exactly are we in terms of finally being able to actually use one? In a sense, autonomous cars are already a reality. Google's self-driving cars are fitted with a GPS receiving antenna, LiDAR remote sensing system, a video camera, and radars. Google's autonomous vehicles use GPS to match their position with customized Google Maps in order to select the best routes to take. Radars in the front and back of the car keep track of other vehicles on the road. The LiDAR sensor rotates 360 degrees and detects the distance between the car and surrounding objects. A video camera behind the car's front windshield is able to read road signs and traffic lights. This is not to say that the self-driving cars are ready for public use, as there are still a few important wrinkles to smooth out. A current flaw with Google's cars is that they require the roads they're traveling on to be precisely mapped out. Otherwise, the vehicle is unsure of how to behave. These maps are extremely detailed digitalizations of the physical world, where things like even the height of every single curb is measured out. There are also issues with the car's algorithms. In mid-February, a Google self-driving car failed to slow and hit a public bus because it expected the bus to yield. According to Wired, Google's cars have driven more than 1.3 million miles since 2009. As of January, they've been involved in 17 crashes, all of which could be blamed on human error. An impressive record that was ruined by the Google car that crashed into a bus last month.
Google driverless car pulled over for driving too slow. Police in Mountain View, California are still getting used to the idea of Google's self-driving vehicles. The models known as neighborhood electric vehicles are programmed to not exceed 25 miles per hour. So when one of them was holding up traffic on Thursday doing 24 in a 35 zone, an officer decided to pull the car over and ask some questions. Alexander Maluski snapped a photo of the traffic stop and posted it on Facebook. The officer didn't actually issue a ticket to the driverless car, and they both went along their merry way. According to Google, their autonomous cars have driven 1.2 million miles without getting a ticket. But other cars have rear-ended the relatively newfangled vehicles on several occasions. Chalk it up to human error.
Singapore plans to test self-driving buses. Singapore announced on Wednesday that the country will begin testing autonomous buses on the road in 2018. 2 existing electric hybrid buses will be equipped with various sensors, including LiDAR, high-sensitivity cameras, radar, and GPS receivers. The autonomous system allows the buses to detect obstacles and lanes in order to navigate through traffic. The test route covers a 1-kilometre stretch of road in the west of the island. The buses can be recharged at bus stops along their route, which takes about 30 seconds. Singapore began testing driverless taxis in August. One of the self-driving cars collided with a truck on Tuesday, but no one was injured in the accident.
Singapore gets dibs on world's first self-driving taxi. A Singaporean startup won bragging rights after being the first to offer a self-driving taxi service to the public, beating out Uber and other giants. Autonomy uses small electric vehicles equipped with LiDAR technology that uses lasers to map out its environment. 2 cameras are mounted inside to detect obstacles and traffic lights. The service currently runs a 6-kilometer route in Singapore's One North Business Park. Invited users access a phone app to request free rides on one of 2 test vehicles, a Mitsubishi i-MiEV and a Renault Zoe. Although only open to about a dozen people so far, the trial program is expected to expand to accommodate thousands within a few months. A driver will be with passengers in the car during the trial run to serve as a backup in case of any emergencies. Autonomy is looking to expand the fleet to about 100 by 2018 and believes the driverless taxis could reduce cars on the road from 900,000 to 300,000. Autonomy's public run comes days after Uber announced plans for a new driverless service in Pittsburgh. The ride-sharing giant had been set to launch the service using Volvo SUVs fitted with an autonomous driving system by the end of August.